MCU fans, DCEU fans, and all in all entertainment fans, welcome back to another segment of This Week in News here at Murphy's Multiverse. I'm your host, Tyler Moulton, and
the show goes on! They're gonna need to send in the National Guard of SWAT team, because I ain't going nowhere!
That's right, Moon Knight's first episode is a success, and during the recording of this video, both the critic and audience score on Rotten Tomatoes went up on me. And this has me wondering, why are we seeing so many articles about Oscar Isaac's contract ending with Moon Knight? We've got an answer for that, along with a whole lot more in the newsverse. But before we get started, don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell so you're always in the loop. No need to fear, Oscar is here, and here to stay. This is what Oscar Isaac himself said about his limited contract. I had heard of the golden handcuffs. That was something that I was weary about. Luckily, we all agreed that this show is what we're going to focus on. This is the story, and if there's any kind of future, I think it just depends on if people like it, if people want to see more, and if we find a story that's worth telling. So as long as the show continues to capitalize on its successful start and Moon Knight can become a fan favorite, it looks like Oscar Isaac will waste no time at all signing the dotted line once again. And I'm so excited to see what's in store after this first one, because we got to see that Crawley cameo along with Duchamp's name showing up in the call records, and Isaac's incredible performance smoothly switching between two different personality types. Now in the comics, we do know that Stephen Grant holds more than two personalities, and as some fans have pointed out in this first episode, another personality looks to be teased here. In this shot, we get two obvious ones, Grant Stephen and Mark Spector, but towards the end, we see three Oscar Isaacs in this reflection here. And even in the credits, we can also see a three-faced Isaac as well. Now, this could be the personality of Jake Lockley, who in the comics is a rougher taxi driver who uncovers street-level intel about crime that is afoot. Now, it looks like the MCU isn't going in that direction in particular, as Grant is a much less threatening gift shop employee. But when it comes to depicting comic book characters differently in the MCU, this definitely wouldn't be the first time. Writer Jeremy Slater, he's just been firing off details, responding to fans on Twitter following this first episode. When asked why he chose Arthur Harrow as the villain instead of a villain from the comics, he stated because his only recognizable villain was Bushman, who just felt too close to Black Panther's Eric Killmonger. So we decided to invent a villain instead. Ethan Hawke in particular was instrumental in creating Harrow. And knowing that this is a limited series, Slater tweeted about the future for Moon Knight as well. He said, "All those decisions are way above my pay grade, but I'm pretty damn confident this won't be the last time you see Moon Knight in the MCU. He's just too much fun." And I agree with this. My vote is on more Moon Knight. Morbius has finally hit theaters this weekend, and after its multiple delays due to the ongoing pandemic. In its opening Thursday previews, the film made over $5.7 million at the box office and is looking for a potential $50 million overall weekend, which is not too bad, but right off the bat, critics' ratings on Rotten Tomatoes were extremely low, going from a roughly 20% tomato meter down to a steady 15% with over 140 reviews. Now, the audience reviews have finally poured in, and over 500 of them have reached a score of 64%. What everyone seems to agree on with Morbius is that it lacks build-up for its important plot points, which in result leaves the viewers somewhat disconnected from the film. But don't take my word for it. You can check out Hunter Radesi's in-depth breakdown on murphysmultiverse.com. Hunter went and saw this, and he really dives into exactly what went wrong here. A bunch of Guardians of the Galaxy updates also hit the news cycle this week. As you know, the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special will show up on Disney Plus this Christmas, and this week, James Gunn teased on Twitter that it is considered a TV special, and the runtime will be, quote, TV special length, which basically means anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour long format. Gunn tells us that this isn't just any old special either, he tweets. More than one great new MCU characters will be introduced, and there's also a rumor going around that actor Kevin Bacon may appear in this special as well. Reddit user Cassandra Oracle has shared that the Guardians crew was filming near her recently, where they were working on an action scene which involved Beverly Hills police cars. And this is rumored to be the same scene that Kevin Bacon is apparently involved in. Now, much later in the week, The Direct dropped some exclusive set photos of this scene with cop cars flipped over and some holiday decorations. And if Kevin Bacon is involved in this, it would be really funny and be a great callback to the previous projects. Because if you remember, Star-Lord has an ongoing obsession with the film Footloose that obviously stars Kevin Bacon. Other Disney Plus projects are also caught up in some interesting news, to say the least. There's a rumor going around that the She-Hulk project is going through a bit of a rough patch and facing some creative differences. Jeff Snyder over at Collider reports, "I've heard it from people working on it, from people actually working on it who are just like, we'll see." I think that's a lot of Marvel things, honestly, and where it's just like, oh, this could really be stupid. Like, we'll see. I'm sure people making Guardians of the Galaxy felt that way, right? And most of the time, Marvel pulls it out, but there will come a time where they won't. That's just the laws of movie making. That's the laws of numbers. So what exactly is Snyder really saying here? What I believe he is saying here is basically they want to make sure She-Hulk is an original work and not seem like something getting pumped out of a bigger machine. Obviously, that will always be the worry for every Marvel project as they try to stay away from that, but it seems to be a little bit more focused when it comes to this project. And if you happen to be watching Falcon and the Winter Soldier on Disney Plus this week, there's a good chance that you saw scenes censored without blood in them. Checking out this comparison before and after the recent edits, we can see this change. And this did in fact irk a portion of the fan base in worry of Disney potentially trying to water down the violence in the MCU. However, according to insider Ryan Parker, these alterations were not intended to be published in the Disney Plus library. He stated, "Eagle-eyed fans were right. The episode of The Falcon and the Winter Soldier had been altered on Disney Plus. I hear from a reliable source it was a software control issue and the wrong file was recently published accidentally. It's being corrected immediately." Ryan Reynolds was also on Twitter this week, and he responded to a Deadpool 3 comment made by actress Leslie Uggams, which, as you know, plays Deadpool's roommate and kind old lady with a great sense of humor. Reynolds responded saying, "Thank you, Leslie. See you soon." Sure, maybe they have a lunch plan together or something of that nature, but those 3 sword emojis at the end, we can only guess that he's teasing her return for Deadpool 3. For Star Wars fans, you'll be pleased to hear that The Mandalorian Season 3 has wrapped up its production. We can assume that the release date for that will be sometime this year around the holidays. Also, the Obi-Wan Kenobi project just got some awesome news as well. The premiere date is moving a couple of days forward from a Wednesday to a Friday, which is May 27th. Okay, I get it, but trust me, you'll change your mind after you hear this quick transmission from Ewan McGregor himself.
But here's the exciting part. The first 2 episodes will premiere together. So make sure you tune in to both episodes of Obi-Wan Kenobi, streaming Friday, May the 27th, exclusively on Disney Plus.
When it comes to Henry Cavill's Superman, we've all been wondering if that ship really has sailed with all the signs pointing that way. The upcoming Flash movie looks to be the nail in the coffin for this question, as reliable inside scooper Casey Walsh tweets, "As of the test screening," now this could change, he's saying, "Cavill appears to be done as Superman." This all comes out as the DCEU continues to move forward with projects like Blue Beetle, which just signed on Sharon Stone to play the villain Victoria Cord, and also we got some merch for Black Adam that shows a first look at this new costume. So this week continued to stay full of surprises with updates and other popular projects like the live-action Avatar: The Last Airbender series. Here are the first set photos that have found their way online for The Last Airbender. It looks to be maybe a structure that belongs to the Fire Nation, given its look and its design, as you can see. And the movie It will be getting an HBO Max prequel next. It's still unclear exactly what this will cover, but an interview from Bill Skarsgård, who plays Pennywise, talked about the clown's unexplored origin story back in 2017. Listen to this. He says, "There was a scene we shot that was a flashback from the 1600s, before Pennywise was Pennywise. The scene turned out really disturbing. I'm not the clown. I look more like myself. It's very disturbing and sort of a backstory for what is, or where Pennywise came from. That might be something worth exploring." In the second one, the idea is the It entity was dormant for thousands and thousands of years. The flashback scene hints at that. So this could be what is explored in that prequel. Now that is the news for this week. I want to thank you guys all for stopping by, watching this video. Make sure to comment below what your favorite piece of news was. We really like to hear your comments, and also any suggestions you have, because these videos are for you. Don't forget to hit that like, subscribe, and notification bell, and I will see you next week.